Welcome back to the Kingdom Wayfinder, and today we're going to be talking about Spyro 4 and whether Spyro 4 truthfully ever existed or not. So in the previous video we put the whole Wumpa League fiasco to bed. At least on my channel, I won't be talking about Wumpa League anymore unless something significant comes up, like maybe something that might have been cut from it, or if it does miraculously get revealed. But basically, we're going to be talking about something else that's been on my mind. This is something that's been a more frustrating topic for many people, especially Spyro fans, because this has to do with Spyro 4 and whether Spyro 4 really existed or not. So, does Spyro 4, or did Spyro 4 ever exist? Was it ever a game that was in development? So, the only piece of evidence that we ever only had that was even close to official confirmation of Spyro 4 being a thing was obviously two things. The first being the Gaming Revolution leak from March 2020 when he said a new Spyro game was in the works, but he didn't give any release windows, nothing. He just said a new Spyro game is in the works. And the other thing being the Spyro 4 tease in the Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time art book, The Art of Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, when there was it was in I can't remember the name. It's been so long, but it's in the food city level in the concept art of that, and you see at the bottom in the corner, and they even acknowledge it and say a little hint that Spyro made a video on it a year ago. Basically, it was a neon sign that had Spyro and then a big number 4 under him. So with that being said, that was kind of like a teaser / confirmation in many people's eyes, including myself at the time that Spyro 4 was coming, but that was a year ago. So with that being said, obviously considering everything that's happened after the fact, much has changed since then. So with that being said, with Spyro 4, it's hard to really say if it ever existed. I think, if anything, at the time the Gaming Revolution made that tweet in March 2020, I think if anything, when he said a new Spyro game was in the works, I don't think he necessarily meant that a new Spyro game was in development, and was more so in a concept stage of development, as in they were conceptualizing the game. Nothing was official, nothing was greenlit, there was just concepts being thrown around of a potential Spyro 4, just like how they were making Crash 4 at the time, and all the manpower and energy was going into Crash 4, Toys for Bob. That's what that was. Nobody was working on Spyro, none of that was happening. It was all Crash 4, 100%, like doubling down on that. And especially when, COVID happened, like, obviously they had to get Crash 4 out, for that year, for the fall of that year. So definitely at that point, all hands were 100% on deck, especially when they all had to work from home. So with that being said, with Spyro 4, I think that's where I'm kind of on this stance, is that the Gaming Revolution wasn't wrong when he said that it was in the works. He didn't say it was in development, he just said it was in the works, which I know you can take either way. It means both, like, you could say it either way, it doesn't matter. You can say it's in the works and it still means it's in development, or you can say it's in development and it still means it's in the works. I think from what he heard is that, yeah, it was in the works, but it wasn't officially greenlit. I think it was something that they were just conceptualizing, and it was being thrown around as a future game idea for Toys for Bob after Crash 4. So I don't think Spyro 4 was ever truthfully in development. It was just something that they wanted to work on, and they probably were going to work on before the whole Call of Duty situation. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much what happened with this game. Is that I think that's what this whole mystery about Spyro 4 is. So I kind of hope this topic's kind of put to bed on what happened with it. Like, was it ever going to be a thing? Did it truthfully exist? Because Spyro hasn't had anything of his own since Reignited. He's been nothing but a Crash Bandicoot cameo character. Whether people like that fact or not, that is true. I mean, after Reignited, he was a guest in CTR, and then 2 years later, he was a guest in On the Run. So, yeah, we need something for Spyro very soon. But with that being said, I think that's pretty much what happened. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Spyro 4. What would you think of the whole situation? Do you think it's still in development and is still in the works, or do you think that basically it was just being conceptualized like me? So let me know in the comment section below. So like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one.